Meeting of public safety, and let the record show all aldermen are present except for Alderman Candace, who did call or text us and say he was not coming. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the previous committee meeting on July 7th. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Carried. Unfinished business. Tiffany, do we have any? Okay, new referrals for consideration. Okay, discussion item. I met with Bill yesterday, and he can update us on the COVID. I don't think there's too much to update on, but
I really have nothing to update on the situation right now. Still, I don't know, maybe I did not tell you, but we're no longer having the every other day meetings with the governor's office. That has stopped, so it's not a lot to report.
Do we want to talk about masks? I know there were some emails flying around about that, and I certainly don't want to prolong this meeting any more than we have to, but is that a conversation we want to have in person?
well, I received two. One was a constituent of mine, and she gave me this long article.
Oh, the one click. If you look at their email address, it was sent by one click. I got 3 of those.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I was more talking about the Bob Olander email that came around about aldermen that don't want to wear masks.
Sure.
Well, there's a topic.
Yeah, I guess my point is I kind of asked for some feedback. Alderman Robinson did give some opinion. I don't know. What do we as a council? How do we want to approach this? Are we just indifferent? If we are, that's the council's will. Then so be it. But
I think as a retired nurse, I can say, and again, being related to a doctor, masks do help, slow down, if not prevent the spread. So that's my belief that we should do it.
The only thing I would add to that, I'm not no expert in masks or anything, but I just don't know what I see on TV. But if my mask is preventing me from giving you anything, and you're not wearing a mask, you're not preventing me from getting whatever you have.
Right.
So I just think out of common courtesy, if the CDC is saying that it's actually working and it's stopping the spread, we should probably follow those guidelines until we get out of this pandemic.
are we denying people entrance to the building if they don't have a mask on?
Yes. During the business day, if they're here. But from my perspective, I take questions all the time. And, why aren't you making the alderman wear a mask? They're elected official. They're not under my control. At night when we come to meetings, it's the common council meetings. I'm a guest. So during the day, you come to the building, you're going to have a mask on, or they will deny access.
About the people that come see, if they're required to wear masks.
Excellent point.
What do you think?
I think we should all be wearing masks, period. And I think this idea that it's some kind of ridiculous concept that it's an act of civil disobedience is, I'm at a loss for words how stupid a concept that is. Respectfully. I mean, it's a public safety thing. Even if you don't believe in the virus, even if you don't believe in the potential that it could, affect someone you care about. I mean, do you not cover your mouth when you cough? You know what I mean? Do you not, when you're in breathe, do you just sneeze, just blow it all over the people in front of you in line? No, you cover your mouth because it's common courtesy. Obviously, this is a weird thing that's going on. Nobody likes wearing a mask. I have to wear this stupid thing every day, all day at work. But suck it up. This is a place of employment. My employer says I have to wear a mask when I'm on site in the building, right? Aldermen, whether we're elected, we don't report to Bill or anything like that. We report to the voters. We're still employed and paid by the city. Am I right? Our employer requires that we wear a mask when we're on site. So we should wear a mask on site. I mean, am I logic here? I mean, this is pretty simple.
No, it's straightforward.
It's pretty straightforward. And the other thing is that we all have taken an oath to uphold the laws of the state of New York, the city of Willow, and the state of New York, and of the United States. And it is a order by the governor that we wear masks.
I mean, for Christ's sake.
I take my oath seriously.
Trump wears a mask. Trump is wearing a mask. Mitch McConnell, all these, you know, I know that this mask or no mask is a political issue, right? Because our awesome president has made it that way. But, like, in all the right people, like, screw masks, you're taking away my freedom, and all the left people are like, oh, I'm wearing a mask because whatever, right? Nonsense. Everybody's wearing a mask. Wear a goddamn mask, please.
Waiting for the roast to finish.
I'm not roasting you. I'm talking to the.
I wish.
And you bring it on yourself when you wear a mask and then you say stuff like, hey, it's my own act of civil disobedience, and people are championing you, saying that, so what? So what? That's what we're all doing. Do it. Wear it.
So Linda referenced the CDC and how they've mentioned that masks should be worn when you're within 6 feet. Right. So
our work culture wears the masks. Wear
Right.
the mask.
I think what you do in your private life is up to you, but I think this is the public. We represent the public, and I'm sure there's at least a few of your constituents that do wear masks and do believe you should wear masks. And like I said, what you do in your private life is you and Jason's choice. I just think when you represent the public, you represent everybody. You know, I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, and I try not to say things that I think are too political or too confrontational, because I know all my constituents don't feel the same way. So I respect that. I just think it's a mask, Helen. It's not we don't have the big plastic, what are they called?
the face shields.
Yeah.
The people elect us to lead them. And if we just take willy-nilly, not law, mandates from the government and just follow what they're saying, I think there's a bigger thing here at play. And to me, the mask was a turning point to a smaller thing that's about to happen to the United States of America.
So I guess I would interject with, no one elects us to lead them. They elect us to represent them. So as a representative, I tend to err on the side of caution. With that being said, I also appreciate and respect their own personal freedoms. I can't force, and that's the America we live in. I don't believe that I have the right to force someone else to wear a mask. I will do it because I believe it is my public duty, but I don't believe that it's fair for me to force someone else to.
As someone who's known you for a number of years, I don't know Jason very long, right? I wish he was here because I'd like to say this to both of you guys. Just wear the mask. I don't care if you never wear it again ever, but when you're in this room, wear the mask. If you can't sacrifice whatever freedoms you think you're living or giving up or whatever, just wear it when you're here. And if you don't, you want to tell me to, go shove it, whatever, fine. But people are noticing. And maybe that doesn't matter because you say you're getting roasted. You get roasted every 6 months by somebody in here, somebody in the paper, somebody on Channel 7, and we just all have to sit here and listen to it. So, badge of honor. Wear the mask, please. Sorry, roast over.
That's okay.
Whatever.
No, I think it's something we needed to talk about, and we'll probably talk about again. Anybody else have any comment or any complaint? Okay, moving on. I put on Willow Street for a parking issue on one side. Where Willow Street is located off of Main Street, and it's one of the older streets in the neighborhood. And it's interesting, and until someone pointed out to me, I just thought, oh, it's a narrow street. But this street actually, when you turn on it, it's narrow, and then one house on both sides it goes out about an extra 4 to 6 inches. So what I was asked is if we could put no parking on the first, it's not really, well, it's kind of a block because it goes to Fairview, on that first side. So I have a couple more constituents to talk to. So far, the couple I have talked to, 3 houses, they're fine with it. And I asked the fire chief and the police chief to go check it out, and they both told me that they were fine with putting no parking. The fire chief did tell me if there were people parked on both sides, he could not get an ambulance or a fire truck down the street. It's just one of our old, you know, these streets, they're on there. So before I put anything in a resolution form, I just want to finish talking to my folks. And I know we all have these streets, but, so I'll be bringing this back once I finish those conversations. And to dovetail on that, Bill sent me an email about North First Street, the 100 block, about putting no parking on one side there.
Yes, we have actually had a request from San Savarino Company to see what kind of parking we could have for his project here at Manhattan in that parking lot, which is lot 9 on First Street. So we started taking a look at that, and I had Bob, the parking committee, we met the other day, and we went over this, and I had Bob look at North First Street and say, okay, how many spots could we put on that block? Additional parking. And he came up with, I believe he came up with 13 additional on-street parking. So we can, and the reason I'm taking another look at that, because right now we have in the lot 9, there's 51 spots. So we have 28 of them which are available for permits. And there's 23 that are metered spots. Okay? So right now we have 23 spots that are rented at the permit spots. So that gives us 5 permit spots there. But if we can, and we have places in there like Dr. Jemko, he has rented spots. We have Terry Grant, he has rented spots. And then there's some other various businesses along there. Also, we have the investment place there in the corner. They have spots back there. So if we can come up with some additional spots for customers and put on North First Street 13 spots there, that we could put, like we have on the rest of the area, 2-hour parking and during the business day. Then we can free up, I think we could free up about 20 spots for the Manhattan project. And we would, obviously, we would rent them to them. We wouldn't be giving them to them for free. It would be a rental. So that way there, it could serve one of their needs, plus serve our needs and our business needs along the street there that need that parking. And it can be a win-win for everybody. So for council action, it's going to take council action to put the parking on North First Street. It would be on the east side of the street. And like I said, we can come up with 13 additional spots there, which would be, I would recommend it be 2-hour parking during the day. So.
Do you foresee that causing any adverse effects on that street?
No, we've been looking at this. There was actually a study done. Greg Willow actually did it years ago, and I think it may have been back when we were planning North Union Street. So see what kind of parking we had on the street, and he included spots there in that plan, but we just never did it. So it's one of the things. If we have a function like the parade or that, you can always put the you can put the signs up, no parking, temporarily no parking. So I think it'd be a nice addition. For the street for additional parking. Plus, it would let's face it, we don't collect a lot of money at the meetings over there, so that would give us revenue from the parking up there.
So Bill, which side would it be on the same side as the lot? Or
No, the east side, this side.
Okay, so people that use the parking lot on the east side, pulling in and out, I can just you know, when you pull out with a parked car, you have to inch out to see past them. Do you
I think
see
Bob marked most of those. I sat in at that parking meeting, and like Bob had it all well laid out to get as many cars as possible without causing much congestion. So,
Because I know the bank has a
That would
drive-through.
be, the spots are back far enough so you have enough turning.
Okay.
yeah, because then you've got that.
Yeah.
You've got that additional length of Bluebird Square, or whatever, if that's the
Yeah.
the Social Security building, or the old Social Security building, going right alongside of there too, where there literally is just a wide sidewalk and then like a side entrance for employees and stuff. A lot of that is where most of the cars will sit. But yeah, he had enough by all the approaches to handle all of that.
So
So,
people could pull in and pull out without,
correct.
okay. That would be my only
Yeah,
concern.
so if everybody's okay, I'll be submitting a PL to put the parking there and work on the parking lot, to get parking for the project.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions or concerns? Okay. Let's see, next, the police review board update.
I've been working with Chief Raleigh, and we've been putting together the goals and objectives, and coming up with looking at different, what other, I was suggested to call around and see what's going on with different municipalities and that. So I called Hornell, and it was interesting. They're doing a countywide one. So, and then I talked to Jamestown also, Eddie's Sunquist, and he said they already have an existing board that was kind of dormant, so they're resurrecting that board, and that'll be doing theirs. And I've got to call into the mayor of Dunkirk, Assembly side, to see what's going on. He's got that one yet. So we're moving forward with that and taking people with interest have been sending in, and I've been getting quite a few letters and resumes of people who are interested. So we're continuing to work forward on it. But no one is Cornell, their county, they're working on it. They're not done yet. Jamestown's working on it. So.
Have you had any updates from NICOM?
I have not had an update, but NICOM just sent out last week they just sent out a survey with a lot of questions to do with this. So as soon as they get that information back, I'm sure they'll tabulate it and get it out to everybody and come up with a suggested plan or we're moving along. I think we'll have something in the next couple of weeks.
And Bird, just for you, NICOM is New York State Conference of Mayors, and they usually have a couple seminars or meetings each year. They're usually in Saratoga or Albany, different places. And some of us have attended them. Bill actually is on their board representing our city. And it's just, we kind of check policies. They let us know what's going on with the state. And it's a nice organization to belong.
They have a huge legal staff, so that's helpful to take tips and trips.
They'll have a manual that they give to newly elected officials. I'll be getting one of them for you. It's got a lot of good information in it.
Okay.
Also, the option is there if you wanted to attend one of them, which absolutely would recommend to anybody on the council. We have a small budget for all the travel, and we can make that happen.
Okay. The same state?
Yeah, usually that's up in Saratoga.
Okay. Saratoga Springs.
Yeah.
They're not in time.
Yeah.
Right now they've canceled all their conference, and they're going to try a virtual conference in September. So everybody will get that information when it comes out. So.
It's a good networking opportunity that you'd never meet, I don't know, I would have never met Eddie Sunquist or, whatever, so.
Yeah, it's nice because you meet these folks, whether they're council people and other mayors, and that way when you come back and you have a situation, you're not reinventing the wheel all the time.
Right.
You can go to someone that's already done. So it really saves our community a lot of money and time.
The other nice thing is too, if you can't remember someone's name, just say, "Hey, Mayor."
Do it all the
time. While we're on that topic of the police review board, as well as, and I know this is Paul's project, so I'm not. I did send out some thoughts on the diversity committee, and the reason that I think it would be beneficial. It doesn't necessarily mean that we need to have a finished product. So for the police review board or even the diversity committee, I'm hearing from people who are interested, but they want to see just a general concept or outline of what the responsibilities would be. So they're not looking for some really in-depth. We don't have to have it perfected, but I think it would be beneficial to at least.
You're not able to give that to them. I mean, isn't it pretty basic? You attend meetings and talk about issues, right?
I think we probably would want to have just a couple guidelines
Okay.
and just attend meetings. So I think it would be benefit because they don't know the difference. Somebody said, I would like to put my resume in for one, but what is the difference between the police review board, okay, and the diversity committee? What are you looking for?
Yeah.
All right. So just some bullet points perhaps on both, so we could get that out to the public. So they can send in their resume and say, well, with my background, I might be better suited for this one. That's all.
And the other thing I've been asked is, will these committees meet simultaneously, or are they going to meet once a month? Are they going to meet twice a month? People just want to know how often the commitment would be.
Again, just maybe that's something.
Yeah, I think that's
once a month or whatever. Just something to tell the public.
And then a timeline for these resumes. How long are we going to be accepting resumes for both of these?
Because I've got 5 people who have reached out to me now, and I don't know if I should forward them on to Bill, but it would just be helpful.
I've got a file started.
Okay.
So I'll just put them in a file.
Okay.
Yeah. Timeline, from my perspective, I think John's onto something there. I think we have to have a purpose, what the committee's, the purpose of the committee. And so the people have that idea what the purpose is, and then that will give them the opportunity to get things, get their interest in. And what we expect from the committee. If you look at, I know Albany's a bigger department, but they have actually bylaws for theirs. If you miss 2 meetings, you're off the. I can't remember if I said you're off. But, if you miss 2 meetings and you could be replaced, different things. I don't know if we have to go to that extent, but we think we should have a purpose on. Okay, here's what the committee is for. Here's what we're doing this for, and then give everybody the opportunity. A couple more. I think in a couple more weeks we can have something drawn up. We can give another week or 2 for people to get all their interest in, and we can make we can put together the committee, get the people appointed that are selected to be on the committee, and then we get moving, we get business down to business.
I think the other thing we have to make clear is, like with the police review board, that's going to be ongoing. Is the other, diversity and equality, is that going to be ongoing, or is that going to be something that, like we talked about before, having a person that actually works with the city in a part-time position? We touched on it, but we didn't finalize anything. So is that going to be ongoing with that person running that committee? Those are just a couple questions that have come up often. But I just think we need to be clear on how long these committees are going to be in place, and the time frame, how often they're going to meet, and what your commitment is. It's hard to say I want to be on a committee, but gee, I do this Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so you can only meet on Tuesday or Thursday. That limits somebody's potential to be on the committee.
Yeah.
So it's just just general guidelines. Whether it's the expectation is once a month. You're going to deal with X, Y, and Z, and
What is the appropriate amount? I don't really know. I have an answer. I think once a month sounds.
Because part of their job is
I
to.
think maybe one of these things is that at first, maybe once a month isn't enough.
Well, Vernon made a good point. I was talking to him about these committees, and he said, to leave it open-ended enough to let the committee members kind of declare what their scope is, right? To declare their mission statement and let them kind of be self-sufficient in some way.
Yeah, I think if we can focus on getting the people that are interested, try to get these people interviewed, and then get them together and allow them to set their boundaries, their limits. They know what hours they can work, they know what they can and can't do, they know how often they need to get together. They'll create their objectives and they'll know from what they created how much time they need to put into it. I think from there, I think you please a lot of people, you know, with getting things moving, at least. So that's why I was asking about the timeline for the resumes. I feel like it's already been a week or two that resumes been coming in. It's been at least a good month that this conversation's been going on. So I think at this point, if we can move forward, give it another week at least for people that are interested to come in with their resumes, whether they hand it to one of us, mail it in, or give it to the mayor, and then from there, start narrowing down the search or allow those people to go ahead and come together and then go from there.
How do we go about reviewing resumes as a council? Do an executive session?
Oh.
We'll have to see if
The-
we can. Have to see if that's,
Yeah, because the mayor appoints anybody on a committee like this, so I mean, it would be up to him. And then if he's, see, that's what happens if you get more than, 3 aldermen in a room. Now you have to declare it an open meeting, but I mean, when you're interviewing potential aldermen, you don't want like 100 members of the public showing up either, because then it's.
Is it the mayor's committee or is it Paul's committee?
Well, Paul, if we create it and it's not, if we create it under the charter and it's not all made up of aldermen, and there's anybody outside of the council on it, it's
It's a mayoral advisory committee.
correct. So the mayor gets to appoint all of them, including, including the council member, unless we specify when we're creating it. The head of strategic planning, member of the council, is the alderman that represents on that board, right? At which point the mayor could only pick that person to fill the alderman position. Or if you left it open-ended, just said one councilman, he could pick any one of the 7. So, I mean, but it's inevitably his choice, even though we are the ones who created the committee.
As far as about the things that you would look for on these people, when I researched that, a lot of the websites all pretty much had the same thing. They were looking for people with good communication skills. They were good standings within the community. They were able to network within the community. They were able to stay open-minded. They had a knowledge and understanding of the role and purpose they're going to be participating, and they were able to work well with others. Those are pretty much the basics of what these people will be asked.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And there was nothing difficult in that.
I mean, I guess I would ask that as the resumes come in for one committee or the other, that similar to Bill, the way that you kind of interviewed candidates for the alderman position, you invite maybe perhaps a couple aldermen to sit to review some of those resumes with you. You know, obviously, yeah, it's up to you, but it would be great if we could collaborate on that.
I would like to have that input from the alderman on this. It's important. We need that.
So of the resumes you received, Bill, are people specifying what committee they want to be a part of?
Yes.
Okay, so good.
I have one that wants to be on both. So I have,
Is there one that's favoring the other in terms of number of back?
probably have more than on the police. And we're looking at a police oversight committee, so a review, that's what it's called. So,
That would give it longevity.
yeah.
Because you can only review a 100-year-old police manual and update it, and then you wait 50 years for something to, some politically correct term to change here or there, like changing he's to she's, and well.
If you read his Governor Cuomo's executive order, the 5th paragraph in, all the details are right there of what they're looking for. So it's pretty much set up for longevity.
Right.
And this is over
Sure.
the entire time. So there's nothing there that we actually have to even think about. We
Right.
just have to follow that paragraph and we should be done.
I mean, I mentioned that when we had this discussion like 3 weeks ago. That, and obviously you weren't here, but yeah, like, I mean, if he spelled out this is what you need, that's what you create. Now, if there's some adage that, you know what I mean, affected the city of Olean differently, like, well, police do this a little differently. He doesn't bring that up in the scope of his executive order. Do we have them address that? You know, things like that. But I mean, essentially, like, do this. We do it. You know, like, so.
In that order, he also suggests to people in the organizations that should be a part of the play. So I think that's what we need to look at in these resumes.
We'll get it done.
Yep.
Believe me, we're not dragging our feet. It's quite, I know it's spelled out there, but it's still getting everything done so that down the road we don't have issues. You know, say, I wish we had done that. So let's do it right the first time. I think it's what I've been preaching. So we have the word reviewed many, many times, a meaningful committee here. And that's something that's just going to be around for a little while and fade out. We want it to be a permanent committee here in the city of Olean.
Okay, any other concerns, comments? Anything else that anyone would like to bring up on the public safety? Any issues?
I don't know executive session.
Pardon?
We have to go to executive session.
Oh, okay.
And
It's on top.
so
I'll make a motion to enter executive session to discuss the resale or no, the sale of
Sale.
private
sale or
property.
acquisition of.
Sale
Real
or
property.
acquisition of property. Real property.
I'll second. Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Thanks all.
Oh.
Second, everybody in favor?
You guys are killing me.